Welcome to Freedom to Nourish, the show where we challenge the norms, reclaim our relationship with food, and uncover the truth behind the wellness world. I'm your host, Kathy Salata, and today's episode is a deep dive into the history of diets in the United States and why diet culture is more than just a personal issue. It's historical, racial, political, and deeply moralized. Diet culture and toxic wellness trends can make you feel like you're at war with your own body, constantly doubting yourself and chasing impossible standards. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm Kathy Salata, a recovered anorexia survivor and educator, and this is Freedom to Nourish. Each week we'll have real conversations, share stories, and give you tools to finally make peace with food and respect your body. No more food rules, no more body shame, just the freedom to be yourself again. So why do so many of us feel like we failed when a diet doesn't work, when in fact, diets are designed to fail us? Let's unpack this. So let's talk a little bit about a brief history of diets in the United States. Let's rewind to the early 1800s with Sylvester Graham, a Presbyterian minister, and he was one of the first to link food with morality. You see, he believed a bland diet would curb sexual urges and promote purity. Yes, the same guy behind graham crackers. Food from the start wasn't just nourishment, it was a form of control. Let's fast forward to the 1860s with William Banting. He published a book, Letter on Corpulence, and he promoted what we would now call a low-carb diet. And by the 1920s and 30s, calorie counting in home scales became a household staple. In the 1950s and 60s, diet culture exploded. Weight Watchers was born, or what we now call WW. Calorie restriction became mainstream, and by the 1980s, fat was the enemy. Then came the 90s, where we promoted Atkins, diet pills, and a media obsessed with thinness. The 2000s, what did they introduce? Those fun detoxes and cleanses. But the underlying message throughout all of history stayed the same. Smaller is better, and you're the problem if you can't stick to the plan. So here's where it really gets interesting and, quite frankly, damaging. Dieting has long been framed as a moral good. You're not just eating kale, you're being disciplined. You're not skipping dessert, you're respecting yourself. This language is not accidental. It's rooted in the Protestant work ethic, where hard work and self-denial are seen as virtues. So dieting becomes more than just a way to lose weight. It becomes a way to prove that you're good, you're strong, and you're worthy. And if you weren't dieting, well, that must mean that you're lazy, indulgent, and out of control. We've turned food into a battleground and our bodies into proof of how moral we are. Now, I cannot go without talking about race. Much of what we think of as ideal bodies today was shaped not by science, but by racism. Sabrina Strings, author of Fearing the Black Body, traces how fatphobia emerged not from medical concerns, but from a desire to separate white Europeans from Black bodies. In the post-slavery era, thinness became a symbol of whiteness, civilization, and superiority. Curvier Black bodies were portrayed as less civilized, less control. So the drive toward thinness was never just about health, it was about power. Diet culture then isn't just sexist, it's racist, and it continues to marginalize bodies that don't conform to narrow Eurocentric ideals. Let's talk a little bit about BMI. To me, BMI is worthless in many instances. What is BMI? It's a body mass index, and it's widely used. In fact, insurance companies use it all of the time to determine health. But here's the kicker. It was never meant to assess individual health at all. Invented in the 1830s by Adolf Quetelet, a Belgian mathematician, the BMI was a statistical tool to measure averages across white European men. It wasn't designed for women, it wasn't designed for people of color or individual health assessments. Yet it was adopted by insurance companies, doctors, public health officials, and it became a tool to shame and pathologize bodies. Your health is more complex than a single number, but BMI continues to be used to justify discrimination, denial of care, and stigma. So let's take a moment, let's get a little light here, and let's play a quick game. Name that trend. When you think of the 80s, what diets come to mind? Low fat, everything. I grew up at this time, and I will tell you, I loved Snackwells because I thought I could have an indulgent treat and still be healthy. That's in quotes, by the way. Rice cakes, margarine, those are all trends of the 80s. Then comes the 90s, Atkins diets, the zone diet, and just supermodel thinness. The 2000s, detoxes, meal replacements, and Dr. Oz. Oh, I could write a whole book about that man. The 2010s, clean eating. It's all about Whole30, intermittent fasting. Diet culture just keeps changing outfits, but the message stays the same. Control your body and you'll be worthy. Even now, wellness influencers and fitness gurus push programs that are diets in disguise. It's the same hustle, just in a prettier package. So, where do we go from here? We begin by questioning the messages we've been fed. We honor our body's wisdom. We reject the idea that we are broken and in need of fixing. And we recognize diet culture for what it is, a system of control, of moral judgment, of oppression. Now, next week, we're going to explore what true health looks like outside the confines of diet culture. Until then, I ask that you please be gentle with yourself. You are already enough. Thanks for listening to Freedom to Nourish. If today's episode resonated with you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs to hear this. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay hungry for truth. Thank you. If you're ready to step into a kinder, fuller life, subscribe now and join me each week for Freedom to Nourish. Because your body deserves respect, your story deserves to be heard, and you deserve to live fully right now.